When the Wii came out, it was all the rage. Everybody was impressed with the technology and everyone ran out and got one. But as I predicted, Nintendo have cooked their golden goose, and now the interest has declined and not even many people are buying any. In fact, maybe that's just because everyone already owns one. Nevertheless, after this year's E3, Nintendo have hit back with some interesting titles, including our next game review, the one that won the Wii Best of E3, Epic Mickey. Mickey Mouse has returned, but this time on the Wii. From the creative mind of Warren Spector comes this Best of E3 winner that attempts to rebrand the Mickey Mouse character by moving away from his current pleasant, cheerful image and introducing a more devious side to his personality. So does this platformer by Junction Point Studios make Mickey Mouse everybody's favourite again? We find out. The story follows Mickey as a mistake he made a long time ago in a parallel world literally comes back to haunt him by dragging him into a bizarre underworld of Disney characters. There's a ton of Disney nostalgia here as it explores Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, who despises Mickey, and a robot Goofy, all of which Mickey will come across as he tries to find his way home. Paint is a huge theme here as you create and erase the world around you, and it presents us a very clever way of looking into early animation and many forgotten characters. Yet this is all surrounded by some shoddy gameplay mechanics and throw this sense of wonder and nostalgia into a frustrating mess. Controls can seem unresponsive and inconsistent, and the camera just won't let you look at what you want to look at, making this game challenging for all the wrong reasons. Ink, drawing, thinner, you'll literally feel like you're covered in paint after playing this title. Even the worlds you explore seem to be dressed in many oily and dark colours, and they really do capture the look of a bizarre wasteland really well. Mickey himself and the textures in game are fairly decent on the Wii, and it definitely seems like a throwback to platformers like Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong 64. What was a little irritating was how Epic Mickey seemed to repeat certain character designs, and it doesn't really give you much of a sense of that you're changing the world. Like, it's great to paint and change parts of the environment, and it gives you the idea that you're helping out, yet if you leave and then come back, the level resets and it just seems like how it was before. So you really have no effect on your environment at all, which is supposed to be a big component of the game. The soundtrack is quite pleasant and fits the story and mood quite well, as well as the sound effects and painting tools. They all seem spot on. Yet Nintendo has once again chose to give all their characters text-based conversations, which brings down all the character development, as they're actually interesting characters, but I want to hear their voice. Flesh them out more. Not this mumbling text that travels way too fast. Armed with only a paintbrush, Mickey will have the ability to paint certain objects or thin them out in order to progress through the game. It's a cool little toy, and by pointing the Wiimote at the screen, it's a great use of the system. Mickey won't gain any upgrades or new tools, however, so the gameplay is a little repetitive and it doesn't allow Mickey much room to grow. Travelling is mixed up with jumping into projector screens, which can take you into a 2D setting of some of Mickey's most famous films. It's pretty cool, but relatively simple. Battling enemies consists of using thinner to erase them, or painting them, which makes them your friend. You also have a spin move that can either stun or knock out certain foes. Mickey will be faced with many quests throughout the wasteland, which he can solve in multiple ways, by freeing gremlins, doing as instructed, or just doing it himself, and in certain situations these can have consequences later in the game. This is probably the best feature of Epic Mickey, and it gives some freedom with these RPG elements, yet this is somewhat ruined with the characters in the game not having voices and your presence in the world constantly being forgotten. Epic Mickey has some great elements that it brings to gaming. Painting and changing the world around you is definitely pretty cool, but I just don't think they didn't push it far enough. And with an annoying camera and clunky controls, it really doesn't help things. But I did love the nostalgia and just the creative nature of this game, so I'm going to give it an 8.01 out of 10.01 for Epic Mickey.